Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll take a look at what insurance companies say to look for in storm damage. And the new Toyota Camry is making a big change right here in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 5:30 on Thursday, May 9th. Let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast on this First Alert Weather Day.
Good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. Got some great video. Thank you to Crystal on the old Facebook feed. An area that typically gets some flooding. Master Street over in Corbin. This is courtesy of the fire department. You can just see how the water was just rolling down the street last night with some of the intense downpours, and the First Alert theme continues as we head into mid-morning with the flash flood watch in effect for parts of eastern and all of southern Kentucky up until mid-morning, with the intense rainfall still pushing on through, but there are some signs of weakening. 59 right now outside our door here in Hazard, and we're all pretty much between 58 and 63 right now. The pinpoint Doppler radar shows everything to the west-southwest of Jackson and Hazard, from Danville over to McKee, southbound London 75 into Williamsburg, and back out across southern portions of Wayne County. We'll look closer with this with Maine weather coming up in about 10 minutes. But in the meantime, again, we lose the heavy stuff by mid-morning. Still the risk of a shower or thunder shower, but that's decreasing during the course of the afternoon. The high in the upper 70s. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast. How about Mother's Day? It's coming up in a few moments. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. One person is dead after a tree fell on a car in Claiborne County, Tennessee, after severe weather came through that area yesterday. The incident happened on Lone Mountain Road Wednesday morning. Police told our sister station in Knoxville 22-year-old Bryce Edward Hintnick was killed. An employee with the Department of Transportation Driver's Licensing Office in Prestonsburg has been charged with fraud. Last week, police arrested Brittany Dingus after she reportedly obtained personal debit card information from 3 people. Police say she used those cards and another person's email address to make online purchases. 2 people are facing charges after police say they found meth on them in Letcher County. Police were sent to a pizza restaurant in Whitesburg Tuesday after confirming 2 arrest warrants on Brianna Hall. Police found her in a game room in a gambling store nearby. Hall was using a purse that belonged to Brittany Looney, which contained nearly 35 grams of meth in it. Hall and Looney were taken to the Letcher County Jail. 2 people are facing charges after a drug bust in Harlan County. While conducting an investigation in the Bledsoe community, deputies with the sheriff's office found 2 people living on Bigelow Road with active arrest warrants. At the home, police found meth, a shotgun, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Police arrested Emma Osborne and Jeffrey Burkhart. Investigators in Clay County are looking into a church fire early Wednesday morning. Crews went out around 4 yesterday morning to the Solid Rock House of Prayer. It's off US 421 north of Manchester. Firefighters found flames coming from the church attic. Crews from multiple agencies went inside to try and put out the blaze and save musical equipment. Firefighters were pulled out due to structural safety concerns. No injuries were reported. Insurance companies in Kentucky have been very busy the last few years. Multiple claims have been filed with companies because of tornadoes, wind damage, and flooding. Spring often means more strong storms, and insurance company officials say there's some things you need to be aware of before the damage is done. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
The past few years have been marked by one natural disaster after another, and all of it has been very costly.
Over the last several years, we've actually had multiple billion-dollar events in Kentucky alone.
Kentucky homeowners are encouraged to take some preventative steps before the storm hits.
That might be as simple as gathering up patio furniture and moving it into a secure place, maybe even inside, so it doesn't go airborne.
Insurance company officials say that they do not recommend climbing on ladders. They say that your safety should be the utmost concern, but they say that you should probably take some steps either yourself or through other people to prevent further damage from taking place to your property.
You don't want to make repairs, but you want to stabilize the damage. You want to put a tarp on the roof to make sure that the water doesn't leak in the house and cause further damage. And
Larry Stewart says claims adjusters will likely contact you in about 24 to 48 hours. He says don't be surprised if the total is more than you first anticipated, and that could eventually impact what you're paying.
across the state, well, across the nation, as you well know, all insurance premiums are increasing because of basically because of inflation, the replacement cost of homes.
But Kentucky has absolutely been hammered with a lot of severe weather and historic weather over the last several years.
Insurance officials say their business is built to respond to these kinds of things. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Agents say the most important thing to do is review your policy and get to know your agent to better prepare for when you need to call them. Leaders are surveying the damage from a downburst at one of our state parks. These pictures are from Natural Bridge State Resort Park in Powell and Wolfe counties. Crews responded to Middle Fork Campground nearly 24 hours ago. Adrienne McHone is a volunteer firefighter who was one of the first at the scene. She says this is the first major storm event she's responded to since volunteering.
Many trees, probably about 20 to 30 trees down on the road. I was following behind guys with the chainsaws, picking up the big logs, getting them out of the road in preparation for the excavators and scrapers.
Officials say the park is fully operational despite the damage. A transitional recovery housing project by Mountain Comprehensive Health Cooperation received funding from the General Assembly. The organization will receive $2.5 million toward the project. MCHC CEO Mike Caudill says they have been searching for funding to complete the project since 2020.
It'll probably start construction early part of this summer and is expected to take about 12 months to complete. So by midsummer of next year, it should be ready and we can start housing people.
Caudill says the goal is to give men leaving a short-term recovery facility the opportunity to continue building educational, vocational, and life skills. Toyota is marking a milestone in Kentucky with the launch of its newest generation of the Camry. The Camry is now exclusively a hybrid vehicle, and it's being made right here at the Georgetown plant. Jeremy Toms was there to capture the celebrations and learn what customers can expect from this latest product.
In the hall where Kentucky's first Camrys were produced, thousands were on hand to see the launch of its 9th and newest rendition.
We knew that it couldn't just be a great car for a hybrid. It had to be a great car, period.
Toyota Kentucky President Kerry Creech says it achieves that through improved handling, power, and performance.
The vehicle uses the 5th generation hybrid technology and boasts an estimated 44 to 51 miles per gallon.
Creech has been working here for 34 years, and the Camry has been built in Kentucky even longer than that. So today was a point of pride, not just for the company, but for the Commonwealth as well.
It's a great feeling. I'm a Kentucky native, and I've seen just about every major model launch that we've had of Camry, so it's really, really special to me.
Creech says from pencil and paper to this polished product, it takes over 2 years of hard work.
It's a labor of love. There's a lot of people that put a lot of time and a lot of effort into getting it to where it's at right now. Now
that the new model is shipping, they can reap the rewards and see how it catches on with customers.
I've talked to many, many dealers, and I was thinking it would be the styling, the performance that improved, but it's really the affordability. They say it's one of the most affordable cars they have in their lot, so we're ready to go build a bunch of them.
In Georgetown, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Toyota officials say the starting retail price is set at less than $29,000. You can expect to see it at your local dealer later this spring. When we return, Disney is looking to expand one of its theme parks after acquiring more land.
And Thursday morning, that starts off on the wet side. The big question is, when can we get this steady, heavy stuff out of here? We'll let you know if we can have a bright day for Mother's Day. Your First Alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after this.